Welcome to the Real Film Nerds Podcast.
Well, happy Wednesday, everyone, and welcome to the Giant Disaster Show. We've been trying to record now for over 45 minutes. Maybe we'll get it started. I don't know. With me, as always, on the Real Film Nerds Podcast, that's what it is. We talk about movies. We BS. We try to have fun. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it fails miserably. But anyways, my partner in crime on the other side of the planet, not in Iran, mysterious Michael Talent.
Dude, you said no bringing up anything. I wasn't going to do that. I didn't
bring up a
You
thing.
brought up a little bit. All right. Anyway, hey, how's it going, everybody? We're not talking about the latest news thing that Matt just mentioned.
What, a country? I didn't mention no news. I was just talking about a country.
We're not doing it, Matt. Stop it.
Okay. All right. Well, then we will talk about how my mom cannot stop laughing and how Booger cannot stop walking in the door. And next thing we'll see what happens. She's going to fart or God knows what. Ma Hinshaw, I see you laughing. I don't know if you have it on mute or what, but...
No, I'm just trying to be quiet. I mean, who
you're not
knows?
doing a good job.
You know, the dogs are not quiet and the kids are not quiet, but hey, I'm trying. Hello, everyone. Hi, Mike. How are you doing? Hi, Matt. My
I'm
precious one. Good. Good.
Did you just call Mike your precious one?
I called you the precious one. Holy cow.
Mike's your precious?
No.
Like,
what? Oh, good heavens.
like Lord of the Rings?
I don't know.
No. Oh, jeez.
I was never into Lord of the Rings, so I don't even know any of that. It's okay.
You saw the movies?
Yeah, but I didn't pay attention.
Did you pay attention to this week's movie?
Yes, I did. Oh, boy, did I. Wow.
Well, yeah, it's all the genitals.
Yeah.
Anyways. Okay, so this week we are talking about the third movie in a trilogy that's been going on since 2004, 28 years later. Now, the interesting part is it's related to the other two, but not really related to the other two, and this is the start of a new trilogy. I don't know. I'm sure Mike knows more about it. So, Mike, why don't you go ahead and tell us all about 28 years later.
All right, Matt. So you're right. This is kind of the start of another trilogy, but it's the final of this trilogy. Yeah, it's a little bit weird. Anyway, it is directed by Danny Boyle. It was written by Alex Garland. Starring Jodie Comer, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Ralph Fiennes, and Alfie Williams. A group of survivors of the rage virus live on a small island. When one of the group leaves the island on a mission into the mainland, he discovers secrets, wonders, horrors that have mutated not only the infected, but other survivors.
Okay, Ma Hinshaw, did you get around to watching 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later?
I saw 28 Days Later. That was really good. I didn't see 28 Weeks Later. No, that's one on my list to watch.
Okay, well, I was hoping you weren't going to watch either of them because I know Mike rewatched 28 Days and 28 Weeks, and I watched 28 Days and 28 Weeks. So our perspectives are going to be a little different, but since you already knew going in, we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
So, Mike, we'll start with you.
All right.
You finally got all the flaccid penis you could ever want. Are you finally satisfied?
Oh my gosh, dude. Yes. Wow. Without spoiling it, there are certain I don't know how to say it, Matt, but yes, there's lots of flaccid penis, and it was great.
Okay.
So there's actually tons of nudity, which is interesting because I think they attributed the zombies. So it's been 28 years. Well, your clothes aren't going to last that long, and if you don't care about clothes, well, they're just going to disintegrate off of you, right?
They're going to rot off your body.
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
So
do you think the zombies, which I don't like calling them zombies, they've never called them zombies until this film. They've always called them the infected, but because zombies typically are dead, and these people aren't dead; they're infected.
did they say zombie? I don't feel like they did.
They did.
Where?
They did, and I will point it out in the spoiler section.
All right. Okay.
Right.
But yeah, so it makes perfect sense that they would all be nude, because what they wouldn't put on new clothes, they wouldn't change clothes. I mean, some of them had different levels of clothing falling off their bodies and things, but
Not
yeah,
much.
and I still didn't get like 100% of an answer that I really wanted, a question to an answer I really wanted answered. But again, I'll save that for the spoiler section. So, Mike, other than the genitals, did you like the movie?
So I did like the movie. It's ironically, it's kind of a coming of age story, with I guess the spice of the rage infected people.
Okay, so spice, got it.
Yeah, well, I don't know. The infected infected ragers. I don't know.
Made it spicy.
Yeah, they made it spicy. They brought the heat, Matt. They brought the heat.
They brought the heat, the flaming hot Cheetos.
Yes, something like that.
Okay, so on your scale of all the 28 franchise, is this the best one? Is this the worst one? Is this one in the middle? Like, what are your thoughts?
Oh, so it's not the best. I think the first one is the best. It was just so well done. The only complaint of the first one is they shot it on something that, I don't know, like a Canon, like handheld camera or something. I don't know. It was rough. But they were trying to, I don't know, get it more gritty, I guess, or something. I don't know. But speaking of that, this isn't a spoiler. They shot a lot of this movie using the iPhone.
Yeah, they shot almost the whole thing on an iPhone.
Yeah,
right.
Which is crazy. They
shows you how much technology's changed in 25 years, huh, Mike?
Yeah, they showed
hold on, that's not the right math.
23 years,
22.
I think. 23 years or something? I don't know.
22, 23 years. Depends what year they shot it. Yeah, it came out in 2003. So.
Yeah. So they showed I saw a little picture of a rig that they made. Oh, it was cool, man. They had like I don't know how many iPhones, like 40, 50 iPhones, all kind of in like a U shape, so they could get all these angles, and then they could stitch it together or do whatever they wanted with like kind of their own bullet time ish kind of stuff. And I was like, man, that's pretty cool. Still would be kind of expensive to buy 40 iPhone Maxes and set up how all the storage and all that stuff. Like, it wouldn't be quite the easy endeavor, but I mean, it was still cool that they did it.
It'd still be cheaper than a red.
Yes, I believe that is a correct statement.
Because that's what almost everybody's shooting now. So, okay, she's sitting there being very quiet.
Yeah,
not
but
engaging.
it looked really good. I had
We'll
no
get
idea
Mahjong
with
here.
all those
There we go.
phones. Really? I thought it was cameras. I really did. You
Well,
got
it was
me.
cameras.
Yeah, it was cameras on phones, but the phones were altered and stuff. They got like
Yeah.
extra like pieces. It wasn't just like they bought a phone and were just like, okay, we're gonna take this and shoot a movie.
Okay.
No, they had
No, okay.
they had extra gear. They had probably what do you call it, gyros and all kinds of different
Ooh, I
stabilization.
love Euros.
Yeah,
Especially with Tzatziki.
Yeah, those are good. Dude, I randomly,
it.
speaking of tzatziki, this is totally off topic. I got tzatziki flavored chips.
What?
Dude, they were pretty good. Not
It's
gonna
like a
lie.
Ruffles flavor?
Yeah, it was a Ruffles flavor.
Hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, the iPhone,
See, I can't do this shit because Mike just goes with it too.
the iPhones and stuff they use, they put on like lens attachments and different stuff. So like, it was not.
Oh.
It's not like it was just a stock iPhone, but I mean, the base, I guess, of it was an iPhone. And if you think about cameras, Matt, every camera you buy is like, it's got the base, and then you got to get lenses, you got to get other stuff. I guess it's the same kind of concept, just a phone.
Theoretically, yeah, in a lot of ways. Although I'm wondering how they would attach lenses to the iPhones because the lenses are already there, kind of thing. But
They have some sort of like attachments. I don't know 100%. I didn't see exactly what they did, and I don't know if that's published. It might be, but
well, Mike, what are we paying you for then?
yeah, yeah. But Matt, you're right. There's also supposed to be two other movies, which apparently one movie is already other shot. Like it's done. It's ready to go.
Yes,
And
they're
then
just starting production on the third one, I think.
and the third one, depending on how this done, which I think is done well enough for them to do it. Like I think it's
Isn't it number 2?
yes, it was number 2.
Yeah.
Elio, the Pixar movie that came out, did horrible. Like lowest ever for a Pixar movie being released.
But it's still number 1.
No, it was number 3.
Oh, no, that's How to Train Your Dragon, right?
Yeah, How to Train Your Dragon is still number 1, and that was what I attempted to take my kids to. Did you notice the word attempted?
Yes.
They couldn't hang, dude. It was too long. It was too long, and the theater I went into one of those experiences where it's like XD or something, and it's not because I wanted to, but it was the right time, and it was too loud for the kids. They're like, we gotta go. I'm like, all right. So we left mid-movie, just walked out.
Because, yeah, I think you were having that struggle last week where you were talking about wanting to take them, but you weren't sure. And so you learned your lesson?
Yep. I
went-
mean, I guess I know my kids because they couldn't hang. I left.
Well, if they wouldn't have hung, I went to see Elio, and it was long. But I mean, there are a lot of kids there, and they stayed there. But even Janice said, well, she didn't like it all that much. So I didn't go How to Train Your Dragons. I didn't go to that one. Mm-mm.
I thought you saw that.
No, I didn't.
Okay. Well, what was the other one that you saw in the theaters then? Because you see like movies every day.
Elio.
Well, I know Elio, but what was the other one?
I
saw
don't
another
know.
animated movie recently.
Gee, I don't remember.
Lilo and
Oh,
Stitch.
Oh, yeah.
Lilo and Stitch. There you go.
Right. Oh, of course. Yeah.
I'm glad
saw
Mike's
that
paying
one.
attention to what you watch, Ma.
Well, I mean, I watched that with the kids. The kids hung for that one, but barely.
Yep.
My son was losing it, and then at the end, it started to do something he was interested in.
Yeah, that's true. You kind of lost them in the middle. I understand that one. You know.
So, okay, Mom, 28 years later,
Okay.
did you like it? Did you not like it? Do you want to see 28
I liked
weeks? Like,
it.
what's going on here?
I really liked it. I liked it when they were on the island and it showed Dad,
Spoilers.
was making breakfast and stuff, and they were getting excited about getting off the island and all that. And then I liked how it showed how the kids were going to school and how they were being taught and things like that. That was pretty interesting to me. And the fact that they were on an island where you could, when the tide was low, you could walk across on this dirt trail. and get to the mainland, but when the tide was high, you couldn't. I thought that was a really creative and cool idea, and it was very pretty to me. I thought, really pretty. I wouldn't want to leave the island. I would have just stayed there, But they ventured out because he had to be trained.
Well,
Right.
they need resources. They need to go hunting and all those other stuff because it was a very small island.
Oh, yes, that is true. That is true. They had to go. And I was saying, oh, I hope he's not going to kill Bambi. And he didn't. He just, killed humans. Oops, sorry, guys.
All right.
Well, humans, they're infected.
Hold on. I think Matt's pretty thirsty. I know I'm thirsty. Matt, what are you drinking this morning, evening, afternoon?
Well, Mike, thanks for catching my mom spoiling everything, like she always does.
Yeah.
But, Mike, this week I'm drinking the one, the only, the champagne of beers, Miller High Life.
Oh, no. What are you celebrating?
Nothing. I'm celebrating Cheap Beer Day.
Oh, I don't know if that's a word. Is there even any cheap beer anymore?
Dude, you can still get like a 12-pack of Miller High Life for around $1 a beer.
Oh, okay. That is pretty good. That's pretty good.
That's decent.
That's probably cheaper than soda. That's good. That's what we want.
It's cheaper than your trash water.
Oh, yes. You ready for the trash water this time? It's a fun one.
Uh-oh.
All right. It is a Lagunitas Maximus Colossal IPA.
So it competes in Gladiator or what?
It's just a strong. It's just a strong beer. It's a 9%.
Maximus.
Beer.
Maximus.
Yeah.
So when the days are going bad, you drink that one, right?
That's right. Or your days are going good, I think.
Oh, okay.
Well, we all just know that Mags needs to hurry up and get home because Mike is at the end of his rope.
Well, it's tiring. It's tiring for sure. Although we were supposed to do swim lessons today, but it got canceled. So.
Why? Because it was raining?
No, they said the pool's being cleaned or something. I don't know, man. Sounded like a lame excuse.
The kids didn't want to get wet. It was raining?
No, I mean, we often have lightning delays, but...
well, yeah, that makes sense. You don't want barbecue children.
No. We definitely don't.
It was probably just floaties in the water. Then they have to close the pool.
There might have been some floaties or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah.
But
floating Snickers bars?
Yeah, Snickers bars, yes.
That's it.
That's what it is.
Some logs.
So, speaking of deliciousness, Mom, what are you drinking?
Oh, Blue Moon with an orange slice. Yum. Love that Blue Moon.
Matt loves fruit in his beer.
I do not. I don't like fruit in any of my beverages. I don't like lemon in my water. I don't like lemon in iced tea. I don't want fruit in my beverages. I do like a good cherry or pineapple slice, though. That's okay. I'm good with that kind of fruit.
Oh, okay. So you're
no sour fruits?
Yeah, I don't know. Like you have various things for certain stuff you don't want it. I don't ever want anything in my water either. I know people are always like, "Oh, the lemon kills the germs." I'm like, "Well, I don't care. Let's bring the germs on."
Yeah, it makes my immune system stronger.
Yeah, which apparently I need because I'm just getting rocked by the kids all the time.
Dude, that's so funny because you never get sick, and now you're sick all the time, and I'm never sick now, other than COVID that one time. That was awful.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I had COVID one time. Apparently, there's a new version of COVID coming out. It's like razor blades or something. It's supposed to be make your sore like a real bad sore throat, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah, I heard about that today. Yeah. So, okay, Mom, are you going to do your job, or are Mike and I going to just keep talking about razor blades?
Excuse me. Yes, Mike. What is your earth-shakingly great dad joke for this week?
I got dad jokes. I don't think they understand, though. Gotta think I'm funny. Other people never laugh, though. Dad jokes.
Oh, well, thank you for asking. Here we go. What do you use to steal a photographer's legs?
Tripod.
A Nikon.
What?
I don't know, man. It just says a Nikon. A knee.
That is horrible.
It's
That is
from
a
the
bad-
book. Your
that's a
book.
bad one. Well, you don't have any videos, so I can't see the book.
I know.
Boy, that would put the kids to sleep.
All right. Yeah, that was a bad one.
It's okay,
Pretty
Mike.
bad.
We'll let it slide. We'll let it slide this time.
All right.
So, all right, Mike. I don't think this is a difficult one, but we'll find out. How does 28 years later relate to the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
All right, Matt. It's not too bad. I was trying to find somebody else because I used him recently in the one of the last movies he's been in, because he's been in like 15 movies lately. But Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Quicksilver.
Yeah. Well, he was also Pietro Maximo,
Pietro Maximoff, which is Quicksilver.
Yeah.
That's Magneto's son and Scarlet Witch's brother.
Right. So, he's been in so many movies. Like, I don't know if it's just they're all coming out at once or what, but like, it seems like all of a sudden he's on the hot list. Like, he's just doing all kinds of stuff.
I think it's just timing, but yeah, I mean, I like Aaron Taylor Johnson. I think he's gotten much better as an actor, but still, I think my favorite role of his to date is probably Kick-Ass.
Oh yeah. Kick-Ass it was great.
I really like that. I thought that was a lot of fun.
But I didn't mind him in Kraven the Hunter.
No, he did a good job in Kraven.
Yeah. Bullet Train.
Good.
Bullet Train, he was fun.
Yep.
Fall Guy, he's not really in. He's kind of like, he's barely in. But anyway, yeah, he's just been in a lot of stuff lately. That's all. So, yeah, so that's the MCU tie-in for that one. This one, pretty easy.
Fair enough. Easy enough. So I figured that's what you were going to go with, but you know.
I did look, I did dive deeper in, and, you know, I wasn't getting anything. I was like, because part of it's like, it's in England, right? So you're already going to be
British?
I don't know if he is, but I know the movie is very British, like Danny Boyle and all.
Yeah.
And it was shot in the United Kingdom, and there's just so it's all people that are in that area and stuff for the most part. So,
yes, it looks like he was born in Buckinghamshire
Oh,
to Sarah and Robert Johnson.
oh, okay. So he's British. All right. I don't think I knew that. I don't
English,
know.
Aaron is of English, Russian, Jewish descent.
Oh, okay.
wee.
He was born in 1990. That makes me feel old. And he is 5'11". Likes long walks on the beach.
Okay.
Aw.
Well,
He
that's
has
nice.
2 children with Sam Taylor Johnson.
Okay.
Jesse Phoenix Jopling, Angelica Jopling. Yeah, I'm just reading IMDb now. Okay, I'll stop. So we are now in the spoiler section. Ma Hinshaw, since you are not doing what I asked and talking, I'm going to make you talk a lot.
I am too
Now you
talking.
can spoil. Ready, go. Spoil all you want. Go.
What? Shush. I am talking. I talked. Holy cow. Anyway, I thought Aaron was very good, and I was very disappointed that he turns out to not be a great dad, actually. But anyhow, and I loved, oh, shoosh, I I know. Alfie was just super. What a good actor for such a young person. He was the mainstay of this movie, and he was very, very good. And I was really surprised at how this movie segued to the mainland and the, oh gosh, the infected people and his mom. He loved his mom, and wow, I don't want to give away all that stuff, but it was, there's some really interesting stuff there. And Ray Fiennes was superb and shocking. And the last part of the movie was really, really, to me, very surprising, very shocking, and very good. What is you guys' view?
She's talking to you.
Okay. So first off, the nudity, the flaccid penis, awesome. So I guess that's a UK thing or something. The Europeans, they're more free flowing, I guess. But I mean, it did make sense for the movie for the most part. The alpha infected was an interesting concept where there's kind of a leader of the infected and they just kind of sit back and watch. I mean, it's quite terrifying when especially the way they shot it. Like there's just a person like standing, like watching, and they all seem to be just giant humans. Like they mentioned they kind of became like steroids or something. They're not 100% sure. And I was like, huh. I like, to me, I like the movie. It's kind of like two stories, because there's kind of like this coming of age story with with the beginning. I guess it's probably the first act and a half. I don't know. I guess it's the first act, and essentially it's like, kind of a tribal thing. The kid's going out. He's going to go learn how to hunt the infected out onto the mainland, see the mainland, learn about that, the crossing of the tide, with the little, like, with the tides and stuff. And then it kind of changes into this movie of like a journey over to find this like person, and like how it's going to be so hard, and all the trials and tribulations, and his mom is not well, so it's hard to know what kind of mom he's dealing with, like every couple 20 minutes or something or whatever. And so that was interesting. I liked how they tied in that, like, essentially the UK is just quarantined and no one's ever going to touch it again. And like, but the world kept on going. So like the rest of the world's fine. And they're just like abandoned the UK. It's like, oh, okay. I guess that's a thing. Like,
that's one of those things that I don't think they really touched on enough, to be honest with you. It seems like Sweden's okay and Europe's okay, but they really don't go into a lot of detail on everything else.
no,
It was kind of interesting when they run into the Swedish soldier and he has a smartphone and nobody had any clue what the hell it was. That was kind of a nice little callback.
yeah. I mean, it would make sense if you were isolated for 28 years, like, and like, obviously, Alfie, he's been raised, what is he, 12, they said?
Yeah, he's 12 or 13, something like that.
Yeah, because I think when they're doing the little thing, they usually say they like 13 or 14, but his dad pushed for him at 12. I'm not exactly sure why his dad did that, because I don't know if he was ready anyway. What do you think the undertones of that were?
trying to make him tough.
Mm.
But it seemed like he wanted to do it, you know. He wanted to get out there. He felt like he was good enough, I think. Didn't you get that from it?
I think he wanted. I think he wanted to a little bit. Like, I think he liked the idea, but I don't know if he was fully committed. And you know, then he's presented with all this. It's a lot when they go over and everything that happens. So, especially when they're running across the water and the dudes chase him. I thought that was a pretty cool scene.
Yeah, with the Alpha chasing.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty good. That was like a lot of like, it was a little weird afterwards because it seemed like they were just, I don't know. I thought they were supposed to be back before like dark or whatever. And then they didn't show up, but then they did come back and it was dark and then they're like, okay, party. Like, and I was like, what? Like it was a weird transition from they made it back to like, we're having this party. Like, I guess it's probably the next day or something, but like, it just seemed so odd. Like, it seemed like a weird editing choice.
It didn't fit to me. It was, I know that he did it, he made it, you know, yay. But I don't know, seeing that party and everything, that just was kind of weird to me. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. It almost seemed like it was like they made it back and then they had the party like right then. And I was like, but he didn't even get to go say anything to his mom or anything. And I know she's sick and stuff, but it was, I don't know. Some of that stuff was a little weird, but once he determined that he was gonna take his mom and like go find the doctor, man, like his demeanor and stuff changed so much. Like, so I guess in some ways he was ready for that journey.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know. So
I was just so shocked with when they were on the mainland and just all the infected folks, and I didn't really understand it. At first I'm like, it's cool that they're all naked, but why are they naked? I thought, no, I don't get that. You know, I guess their clothes rotted off, but it just, I mean, stuff made out of leather, like their belts would probably still be on there, you know, or maybe their shoes. I just, that was kind of interesting to me, but I didn't care because, hey, it's awesome. A lot of nudity. Right?
I think creatively they were probably like, you know, they might have some tethered clothes or something, but they were just like, it's kind of an all or nothing situation because they didn't want to have probably all these different extras or whoever doing, okay, so you have like a belt and you have like, I don't know.
That's
like,
right.
Well, the one infected lady, you know, she had tattered clothes on her and stuff, and there's still different levels of infection from what I can tell on there, you know, versus some people that were new infected, some people that weren't as far into the process or whatever. But one thing to go back about, the party thing, like they were clearly going to bed down and stay in that house overnight, and they were committing to being there overnight, and then the house collapses, the Alpha comes after them, and then they take off running, and then they're partying. Like, clearly they had given up on making it there by nighttime. So it's really weird. I don't understand that. Oh, they were like 7 hours late, but they made it, and let's everybody party. I don't know. Maybe it's just a small island, so why not? But one thing I didn't understand is they go into one of the infected being pregnant. So was she pregnant before, or are the infected doing it? Or did someone do it with an infected? Like, I really didn't understand that part at all. And then how the kid was not infected. Like, how are more infected happening if there's not more? That was really weird. I didn't get that whole part. I didn't understand it.
Well, I mean, what I think they were trying to imply was whether the pregnancy happened pre-infection or post-infection was that uh the the placenta, the miracle of the placenta, where like sometimes people have diseases like AIDS and stuff, but their kids are fine and like all that stuff.
Sure.
It's kind of like I think that was kind of trying to hint at that maybe like
Well,
it
yeah,
just
and that's what Ralph Fiennes' character said.
yeah, but like I don't know, man. I have no idea. Uh, Ralph Fiennes' character was awesome. I wish he was in it a little bit more.
Yeah, and
Uh,
it was kind of weird where he came out of nowhere at towards the end. It would have been nice to have him in there a lot more, especially how good of an actor and all the awards he's won, and
no,
it
and
would have
he
been
was
nice to have him a lot more.
yeah, and he was amazing in his role. Like he did such a great job. Um,
He had a very interesting outlook on life, especially being a doctor.
well, yeah. Well, I mean, long time, long time out there. Like his monuments were like crazy.
Uh-huh.
Like
Oh,
I wish they kind of didn't show those in the trailer because it would have been more awe-inspiring to see it just fresh. But
yeah.
they had a little bit of those skull like towers in the trailer. I think it's on the poster too.
It is, yeah. I was working on that earlier today, but yeah, I don't know if it's because he went crazy or what. I think it was just his way of, as he explains it, honoring the dead in it.
Mhm.
But it doesn't seem like he'd been doing it as long as we're led to believe. I mean, he'd been doing it for at least probably 15 years because I don't think Alfie was around when Aaron Taylor Johnson's character ran into them the first time because they talk about how they knew him before all of the world went to shit basically, and they knew he was a medical doctor and all this stuff, and then they stumble across him again later, and then Alfie never even knew who he was or whatever, and that's when he told the story about it. And so I don't know if it's necessarily about him going crazy. I think it's more about him just changing his outlook on life, maybe from being medically trained, or just maybe he became more spiritual being out there. I don't know. I don't know. It was a very unique, interesting character. That's for sure.
Well, I think too, he would be, I mean, he couldn't cure the infection, couldn't cure the infected people, That must be very, very frustrating if you're a doctor. So maybe that changed his direction into being like what he was, because it must be very discouraging to say, well, I can't fix this, and you're just going to die and that's it. As a doctor, that to me, that would be very discouraging, but he changed his philosophy kind of, right? Mhm.
Yeah, it was interesting that he didn't kill the alphas. Like he totally could have.
Yeah.
Very easily. Yes, he was studying them
He
and naming them too.
he never killed them. They don't explain this, but they don't really have to. He had
Yeah.
access to like morphine and other drugs, and I was like, well, he probably just raided some pharmacy or whatever, like for a lifetime supply of those things. Um, I did enjoy the scene, even though it's like it was probably a lot of work, or at least it is probably CGI, I guess. Where uh, when Aaron Taylor Johnson's describing when they ran into him on the mainland, and there's all these neatly piled bodies, and he just waves to him, he's like, "Hey, come on down. Hey, like we're friends." And they were like, "No, buddy, you got like 6,000 dead bodies right there. No, we're good. We're
out.
we're
See you
out.
later.
Later,
Yeah.
buddy. Like, I, in a situation like that, asking myself what I would do, I'd be like, yeah, I think I'm gonna let this guy do whatever he's gonna do, and just walk away.
He wasn't hurting anybody, Mike.
No, he wasn't, but it was just weird. So,
Well, one thing, not to get too like gross into it, but that I found surprising was how quickly he was able to remove the skin and get a nice clean bone.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how realistic that was. I mean, it seemed pretty quick and easy for him.
well, I attributed that to like he's got a lot of practice and he knows exactly how hot to keep the thing and like exactly like because he had a lot of practice. That's what I attribute that to.
That's true. A whole lot of practice.
But my question is, why wasn't it maybe discolored from the flames or the ashes of the, fire? I don't know. That was kind of different to me. That
Well, I think he
it's
boiled it
pure
off.
white.
Yeah.
I think it was all
right.
water.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But he had perfected his technique. I think that's the point.
Mhm.
I was actually quite amazed at how well the character who is Alfie's mom. It's like she knew she was sick, but was like kind of in denial. And then he's like, "Oh yeah, you're sick," and she's like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
she had cancer. She figured there was something really bad, but she didn't think. I don't think she knew it was cancer, but she knew it was probably something incurable, is what I was thinking.
yeah." But it's like once that happened, she's like, "All right, you can take me out." I was like, "Dang, wow!" I was like, "That was
that was pretty hardcore.
that was
pretty dark."
I was like, "Whoa!" Like, I mean,
That
I
took a
understand.
lot of guts to me.
Yeah, I understood what's
Yep.
happening, but I was just like, "Wow, okay, they're doing that."
Mhm. Yeah.
Um,
And we're really spoiling all that for sure, but no.
well, it's yeah, all right, yep, that's true. Um, I don't know what else there's more to talk about it, Matt. Matt, do you think? I think this movie did well enough that they're probably going to release at least the movie they already made. And
Oh, yeah, of course.
you think
And
they're
probably
going to
the third one.
You think they're going to film the third one?
Yeah, people were really looking forward to this film. It had a lot of buzz. It might not be doing super great, but I bet once it hits streaming like everything else in the frickin' world, it'll probably do really well. You know how that goes now.
I'm already curious about, are they going to have the baby grow up, or is it still going to be a small child or something in the next movie? And I know they've already made the movie, but I don't know,
I'm pretty sure the next movies are just going to be right after the other. I don't think there's going to be big time jumps. Not from what it looks like. I think this is going to be a trilogy following Alfie.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's what it leads to in the end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does. That's true.
Matt, speaking of that in the end, that just reminded me of something. Watching 28 Days Later again just recently, and then watching The Walking Dead that I've watched, not super recently, but I was like, man, the beginning of those series are very similar. And a lot of I can see a lot of parallels of like how everything gets going and stuff. It was quite interesting to see it like again. I hadn't seen it in a long time. I knew I really liked it, but like it was interesting.
Who do you think ripped off who, Mike?
I don't know. I have no idea. Matt, you're about to tell me. So why don't you? Yeah, why don't you just lay it on me thick, man?
So, 28 Days Later came out in June of 2003, I believe. The first edition of the Walking Dead comic book, which clearly is inspired by 28 Days Later came out in September of that year. So I'm pretty sure that Robert Kirkman liberally borrowed from 28 Days Later.
Ah,
Okay.
because I was expecting the zombies to be like it was in The Walking Dead, and it really isn't, And that was kind of different.
They made a point not to call them zombies in the first two films, and then in this film, the Swedish soldier, there's a scene where he's talking with Alfie about I don't remember what, and he said, "Oh, you mean the zombies?"
Yeah.
And that was the first time you've ever heard the word zombies. They don't call them zombies in The Walking Dead. Typically, most films they don't call them zombies because the lore is that the zombie horror and genre films don't exist in those universes.
Okay. All right. Yep. So the other parallel that I was bringing up with the Walking Dead was there's different groups of people, right, that handle the situation differently, and the very beginning of this movie, we saw a character who he was a child when it happened, and I don't know where he was. He was out in the country or something, and he ran away, and he gets picked up or whatever. And you see that he gets... Anyway, he survives. Well, at the very end, we see this character again, who's an adult now, and he's part of some sort of odd group of people who just enjoy messing with the infected and killing them in all kinds of strange, weird ways. I don't know. And of course, that was in rock music. Why is it always rock music?
So you think the group at the end is the kid from the beginning of the movie?
Yeah.
That's not how I interpreted it.
Because he's got the cross.
Oh. I interpreted it as our main character was the kid from the beginning.
No.
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
No, so I thought that too at the beginning. But at the very end, because they kept highlighting the cross, I feel like that was the kid from the beginning. So like it was a little shifty shift.
Got it.
Yeah, that's very hard to understand. I didn't really
that's just my interpretation.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if that's
right.
Right, but so either way, just the running into this group of just I don't know, differently thinking individuals reminded me of some of the Walking Dead, storylines and stuff, like where they run across the different people, so.
Oh, right. For sure. Definitely. I think they're definitely inspired by each other.
Yep. Well, I mean,
can
it's
see
a good
that.
story.
Yeah, I can see that. True.
Just didn't like the rock music. I was like, man, why they gotta use the rock music right at the end for the weird dudes?
I don't know, and I'm wondering if he joins that group.
That's what I'm
find
thinking.
out.
I mean, it kind of alluded to that he did, but I mean, for how long? Who knows?
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Well, I will be looking forward to the sequels or whatever they call them. The next one.
Yeah.
Yes,
Do you think
Mom, there will be sequels?
Do you think it's going to be called 29 years later?
Maybe, because I don't think they're going to have big time jumps. I think they're just going to knock them all out right next to each other.
Or 28 weeks and 3 days later?
Well, because originally they wanted to call the third film 28 months later and stay in the pattern. But the problem is it took so long for them to get the rights back to be able to do the film. They opted to go with 28 years. Did you read about Mike, did you read about how they got the rights back and were able to make this film?
No, I have no idea because I mean, I definitely noticed that it
Yeah.
was Fox in the first two movies and now it's Sony.
Yeah, so basically what
Yeah.
it was is that it was Fox Searchlight owned the rights to it, and Alex Garland and Danny Boyle wanted to do the third film, but they basically could not get the multitude of people that own the rights to 28 Days and 28 Weeks to allow them to make a film, and they weren't talking with each other, the people that own the rights. They finally were able to convince them, however many, almost 20 years later, to let them get the rights. They sold the rights of the film to Alex Garland and Danny Boyle, and Danny Boyle and Alex Garland sold it to basically Columbia, which is Sony, as the distributor so that they could distribute the film.
Wow.
Wow, that is something.
So yeah, they got the rights, but then, they knew they couldn't distribute it themselves and sold it.
Well,
Who
So
would
yeah,
have thought?
so the 28 days, weeks, years, months, whatever property is owned by Columbia Pictures, aka Sony.
Okay.
Huh. So when you purchased it on your streaming service,
I've had
Does-
it for a while.
does
yeah.
that money go to Sony now?
I think so, technically, because they own the rights.
Interesting.
Well, I still have to see 28 weeks. Doggone. Oh, well, I will. They're good. They're interesting movies if you're into, like, certain people I know are not interested in zombie type things at all. But if you are interested in it, it's all cool. Very good.
Okay, so here's the official thing. So after the release of 28 Weeks Later in 2007, producer and writer Danny Boyle stated that a third movie in the series had been mapped out with the proposed working title 28 Months Later. But writer Alex Garland said in 2010 that when we made 28 Days Later, the rights were frozen between a group of people who no longer talk to one another. And so the film will never happen unless those people start talking to each other once again. There is no script as far as I'm aware. After little progress over the years, Boyle and Garland finally announced in 2019 that they were both working on the project again, confirming in 2023 that it was ready to enter production. The film was finally able to gain traction in 2024 when producer Andrew McDonald managed to buy the rights to the first film back from Searchlight Pictures, which he then sold to Sony Pictures under the condition they agreed to fund the sequels. Although Boyle gave Garland the choice to direct, the latter indicated that he wanted to focus on writing after directing Civil War and Warfare nearly back to back. So there you go. I thought Danny Boyle and Alex Garland were the ones that bought the rights, but no, it was one of the producers of the original 28 Days Later.
Okay. Wow. Complicated.
Yeah, so, and they came up to the conclusion that, yeah, it's been almost 20 years. We probably should call it 28 years, not months.
Yeah.
And the story changed and all that stuff, and hence the new trilogy and sequels, and there you go. So, okay, Mike, we've been talking for quite a while.
That's correct.
I know you need to go to bed because you're old.
That's
Ma Henshaw
also
has gone to
correct.
bed.
Oh, yeah, Ma's gone to sleep already. No, I want to eat dinner.
Okay, Ma Henshaw, how many reels? How many zombified cookies do you give 28 years later?
I give it a 4.5 because I really thought it was good. Mm-hmm.
Mr. Talent?
So I'm gonna give it a 3 reels out of 5. I liked it for the most part. It just, it's not quite as good as the first one, but it was good. It was a good movie. Definitely worth a watch. It was fun to see it in the theater because it's so immersive and there's a lot of stuff going on in this. So yeah, 3 out of 5.
Well, I am in between both of you. I give it 4 out of 5. I think this is not the best film in the trilogy, but I think it is the second best. It's really hard to touch 28 Days Later, even though the production is pretty rough. that film is pretty amazing all around, especially given what they had to go through and the lack of budget and all those things. That's just a absolutely fantastic film. I did watch 28 Weeks Later in prep for 28 Years Later. I had never seen it before. Man, there are a lot of big names in that film today. I don't know if they were big names back then, but it was decent. But all three films are very different, and I think 28 Weeks is nowhere near as good as these two films. It's interesting because you could tell it was done by Americans and American production and American actors and all that stuff. It just has a very different feel than even the 28 Years Later, and I just think they're better films compared to 28 Weeks. 28 Weeks is okay, but it's, I don't know, it's pretty convoluted in my book. So, anyways, there's my 2 cents. Mike, you want to tell our fabulous listeners what film we're reviewing for next week?
Oh, yeah, I should know this one.
Yeah, I made a list and I invited you to it, Mike.
I know.
It's a big one. This is a highly anticipated film of the summer.
There's so many highly anticipated films of the summer, man.
With Mr. Bradley Pitt.
Oh, yeah, the F1.
F1 : the movie.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. F1 : the movie, right. Not F1 the key on your keyboard.
Nope.
I already had tickets.
What's funny is I think they just called it F1, but they changed it to F1 the movie to make sure people know that it's not a race. It's a movie. So it's kind of interesting that the racing league division, whatever you want to call them, are very heavily involved in this film, and they filmed it during Formula One races, not like actual like races, but at the different races as they traveled around. Because I like Formula One. I've watched my fair share, and it was real interesting to see them shooting like the movie, and then they're like, okay, now we're going to go start the race. It was pretty wild. So,
Well, I'm looking forward to it because my son-in-law got tickets for the IMAX that they just opened or something at Arrowhead Mall. So it's going to be big screen, loud, and crazy, I hope. Right?
Nice. Very, very nice. This is the Apple movie. So I'm sure Apple's hoping this one does well. They really haven't done too great on their movies. Like the one movie I feel like they should have released to the theater, they didn't, which was The Wolves.
I haven't watched that yet.
Oh, so good, dude.
We might have to do that for the 17th because we don't have anything yet.
Brad Pitt and George Clooney, great movie. Those guys, they're just like, I don't know, they're like buddies, and you feel it. It's fun. Yeah, I feel like they haven't had a lot of great hits. They did that movie that won the Academy Award, which was really good. What was the name of it? I can't think of the name of it. But they've had a bit of a rough spot. I don't know.
Well, I have high hopes for F1 because it is done by a director that I kind of love and hate at the same time. He directed Top Gun Maverick, Oblivion, Tron Legacy, all films that I enjoyed. But he was also the director of a film that I still have yet to review on this podcast, which it's right around that time, but Only the Brave, the film based on the Grand Mountain Hot Shots. So he was the director of that film, and so I have I love him to death. I think he's a very good actor. I mean, not actor, a very good director. He's done a lot of great films, but it's tough for me to say that thanks for making that movie, especially so fast after 19 people that I knew died. So, that's a whole nother story. But yeah, this is, it's tough, man. One of these years we will review that movie on this podcast, but I don't know if it's going to happen. But yeah, it's getting close to that time again of the anniversary of their deaths. It's actually next week, but
Oh, that soon? Oh my goodness.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah. That's tough.
So anyways, yeah, I mean, I think about doing it, but, we'll probably do it, maybe next year. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. It's a tough one for me to watch. I do own it. I do own it on Blu-ray, but it's still difficult to watch. So anyways, enough about ending the podcast on a really down note, but it's the truth. It was a very difficult time. I mean, the film itself is actually almost 10 years old, if that tells you how long ago it happened. I was shocked. They did it so quickly after all that happened. It was just kind of sad. So anyways, okay, I'm going to stop. Mike, do your thing. Ma Hinshaw, do your thing. I'm done.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. Make sure to catch us on the pod next week. We'll be reviewing F1, the movie. And follow us on the socials, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or X. And we'll catch you next week.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to The Real Film Nerds. Now, don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Real Film Nerds. Now, go out and catch a movie.